OpenAI is discontinuing the dedicated Sora app and website, pulling back on the social video feed they previewed earlier this year. They're reallocating massive compute resources away from consumer video to focus on robotics, shifting toward AI that can perform real-world physical tasks. This pivot has left a gap that the open source community is filling, with models that rival the quality of closed systems. This chart shows the barrier to entry. A standard consumer GPU provides 8 gigabytes of VRAM, but new releases require 42 to 61 gigabytes. This deficit causes immediate memory crashes, forcing a shift from software subscriptions to high-end physical silicon. Navigating this landscape requires matching your software choice to the specific capacity of your machine, rather than just chasing the highest parameter counts. For users with mid-tier NVIDIA GPUs who prioritize local privacy, the lightweight stack relies on efficient memory management. Comfy UI recently introduced a feature called Dynamic VRAM to address these hardware limitations. Rather than loading an entire model into memory at once, this system intelligently swaps specific parts of the AI in and out, only when they are needed during the generation process. This optimization is currently restricted to NVIDIA users on Windows or Linux, which means Mac users cannot yet take advantage of this memory handling. Within this stack, you can use Cohere Transcribe for speech-to-text. It is a highly accurate 2 billion parameter model that runs on 4 gigabytes of VRAM. For video production, Prism Audio generates synced sound effects for silent clips. It is a 518 million parameter model fitting into 6 gigabytes of VRAM. This specific lightweight approach removes all recurring software costs, but it requires the user to manually coordinate multiple single-modality tools to finish a project. Professional rigs with 30 gigabytes of VRAM or more can access the heavyweight stack, the uncensored models used by enterprise developers and filmmakers. A primary example is DaVinci Magi Human, a 15 billion parameter model that generates video and audio natively in a single pass. While it holds a 60% win rate over its competitors in blind tests, the distilled version alone requires 61 gigabytes of VRAM to function. There is also Lumos X, focusing on character and item consistency, requiring 35 gigabytes of VRAM. The model uses reference images, like this high-fidelity portrait, to maintain precise facial and clothing details throughout a video sequence. It achieves this through relational attention blocks, which allow the AI to map specific references to parts of the video without losing the underlying geometry. For restoration, Real Restore is a 42 gigabyte model designed to fix physical damage in real-world photos, performing at the level of closed systems like GPT Image 1.5. This heavyweight route provides professional control without safety filters, though the upfront capital required for hardware is significant for anyone outside a studio environment. For creators who prioritize speed, paying for cloud-based tools is a way to bypass local hardware limitations entirely. Hicksfield Cinema Studio 2.5 centralizes the production process into a unified SaaS workflow. Instead of troubleshooting local code, users can cast characters and direct cinematic camera moves inside a single interface using real film logic. This same focus on operational speed applies to coding, where Zei's GLM 5.1 is now accessible via API. GLM 5.1 rivals the performance of models like Opus 4.6 in agentic coding tasks, but it offers faster response times and lower costs per query. SaaS and API platforms trade absolute local privacy for production speed, removing technical bottlenecks in exchange for a monthly fee. Regardless of whether you use local hardware or the cloud, there is a limitation in current AI reasoning that dictates how you must build your workflow. The ARC AGI 3 benchmark tests whether an AI can learn new rules on the fly, rather than just recognizing familiar patterns. This chart shows human success on these logic puzzles at a constant 100%. In contrast, frontier models like Gemini and Opus currently score under 0.5%. The gap between human intuition and model performance means that a single general-purpose model cannot yet handle every stage of a creative task. You have to select specific tools for specific outputs. With a limited budget, use local optimizations like Comfy UI. If time is more valuable than subscription costs, move to a SaaS platform. For uncensored control and high capital, invest in a pro rig for heavyweight models. Efficiency in this landscape comes from deploying the specific stack that matches your hardware capacity and your time constraints.